We've got a lot of big news. We are one day out from the first of what is going to be an awesome set of GOP debates. Both the kids' table and
the second debate is.
Well, I mean, technically, there's two tomorrow. They're going to be doing the B-listers, the Junior League.
When the second?
I don't know, actually.
All right. Well,
and of course, there's going to be ones not hosted by Fox News, and we have absolutely no idea how they're going to manage the different candidates. There's been some speculation that I think Rachel Maddow was saying that Fox News did not actually follow the procedure they said they would for choosing the candidates, and they tweaked the numbers a bit to get who they wanted. But anyway, we're going to be reacting to that live tomorrow evening. I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. I could be totally wrong. 9 p.m. Eastern, maybe? 6 p.m. Eastern, Pacific. Yeah. That makes more sense. And Ben is going to be there, and Jimmy Dore and Anna Kasparian. So, of course, you're going to want to tune in for that. Also, by the way,
let's just do a couple of things about it. Can we talk about that for a second? Can we begin a segment about that? Yeah. It's so dumb what Fox has done. So incredibly dumb. And let's not forget, it's not like they didn't make it up on their own. They worked with the Republican National Committee on this.
You mean in how they chose who's going to be in each one of the debates?
First of all, yes, our obsession with round numbers is silly. 9 and 8 are as relevant as 10. It's just that we like thinking about things in tens.
In base 10,
it helps in base 10. But it's an insignificant number. It doesn't
actually have cosmic power.
When I went to journalism school, the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, when I went to journalism school, they told us when talking about numbers to round, sort of to make them relatable. Like again, if 48 people were involved in it, at least in an early reference, you might say, nearly 50, roughly 300. And I thought from the moment I went until I've held today that they're wrong. And I know they're wrong, and it's changed because people don't pay attention to the number then.
Yeah.
Nearly 400 does not resonate as much to me as 397 people. 397 times. That number means something, makes you think just for a moment. So I think specificity is good, and it's just odd in a world where journalism, where specificity matters, that they would suddenly neglect the specificity.
Yeah.
But it is a symptom. I only bring it up because it means how we like to just do things. Well, I'm going to do 20 push-ups. Hey, man, do 22, do 17. It's okay.
Or 4 or 5.
Right. Or don't do them at all. Right? Am I right?
Do them tomorrow. You'll have more time tomorrow, and you'll be in a better mood.
Do 1,000 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry, 2008. So it's a random number that they picked, right? But that said, 16 is a number that matters for all sports fans. As we did it here on the Turks, partly because I had this idea, Cenk and I had this idea, like when there were 16 guys running before Jim Gilmore screwed it all up by making it 17. Like, do a Sweet 16. Like, have them do, you had a chance to do a format where literally you could have paired these guys off against each other and had 4-minute debates and had audiences vote for who moved into the final 8. And then have a real debate for an hour.
Or you could have avoided all the discussion about I'm pissed because I'm not at the big boys debate by just splitting it up half and half randomly.
Split it half and half. Here's one group of 8. Here's the other group of 8. Totally fine.
Totally random.
Do it totally random.
Do
exactly.
that.
100 different ways to do it. Instead, they do this way. And then they do this incredibly dumb thing that shows just how dumb they are by relying on polls. It doesn't make any sense to rely on polls. Polls all have a margin of error of 3, 4, 5 points, every single one of them.
And some of the people that have made it in had 7% support.
Right. Some of them had, right.
Or less.
And then there were debates in some of these polls about, well, Chris Christie, it would say, just edged ahead of, I'm going to make somebody up, Chris Christie just edged ahead of Bobby Jindal, 4.1% to 3.7%. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's 0 to 0. That's a tie. In fact, it's a tie of essentially nothing. There is no distinction. No pollster looks at those numbers and goes, my guy's beating the other guy 4.1 to 3.7. They know that is a statistical anomaly. That is a flat-footed tie.
Yeah.
So they've decided that matters because this is a party that is traditionally, that doesn't care about science and doesn't care about numbers.
That's true.
And they've randomly assigned this and randomly helping to dictate who gets to be president.
I think Fox News likes having power and influence over it. They want every candidate.
Think?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
No, I am coming up with this, and no one else has thought of it. I think that they like being the kingmaker, whatever it is.
And then all of these numbers are rendered even more absurd when you throw a very famous person in to the race. Let's make it up. One of the 25 most famous people in the country, in Donald Trump, right?
25 of all
people
types?
Yeah.
That can't be.
You think he doesn't crack the top 25? He cracks the top 100.
I have no idea.
How
many Kardashians are there? I don't know.
You think, who's more famous, Donald Trump or Kourtney Kardashian? They're good.
Name recognition?
TYT app. Poll it. Donald Trump
That
or
is a
Kourtney
good
Kardashian.
yes. Let's do that
Who's more
poll.
famous? But you throw a famous person in who then skyrockets into the lead in the polls, thereby making the small differences between the other people even less significant than they already would have been.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is totally arbitrary. And so unbelievably in the show, when we get to it, for the first time ever, I'm going to say these words. I completely agree with Rick Santorum. And Lindsey Graham. It is ridiculous what they've done. It is unfair. It is un-American. It is undemocratic.
Yeah. And because of that, we are going to cover the debates, as I said, live Thursday.
But we're not going to cover the first one.
We're not going to cover the first one, by the way.
As bad as
No, we
everybody
might
else.
cover part of it, but we're going to cover it in the state that it deserves. We are going to be stinking drunk while watching it.
Actually, no, we're going to let TYT kids are going to cover the debate at the kids' table.
That's
true.
what
we should
do.
do.
I was saying we should have the interns. They have their own show now. They should do.
Yeah, they should do it, yeah.
We'll work on that.
My daughter could cover that debate. Who's that guy?
Weird.
Does that guy have a beard?